Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to add rectangles and add text as well to our project. So let's get started. So first thing, you will have to pick the rectangle tool, so right click and press rectangle tool, and then press anywhere actually, and let's create a rectangle. So let's do a 1600 width one in pixel, and I'll do 660 for the height, and then press OK. And make sure the fill is actually set, it says solid color, not the transparent color. So if you have a transparent rectangle, this one will be picked, not the solid one. Right? And you can move this right here. And then we'll go to our scheme and take the orange color that we picked at the beginning of the project and go to our rectangle that we just created and color it with that color. And then I'm gonna call this header rectangle, or we can call it header rectangle. Alright, and then I'm gonna create a folder, call it header. Oops. Header. And I'm also gonna actually change it a little bit. I'm gonna, instead of having something like this, I'm gonna actually have a navigation bar that would be probably, I'll put white color. So let's actually do that. But before we do that, let's move this header rectangle inside of the header folder. So keep things a little bit organized. And then we'll create another rectangle. And let's do also 1600. And the height will be 100 pixel. And press OK. We'll move this same way. And then for the coloring, I will pick actually white color. So F, press OK. And then I'm going to call this navigation bar or nav bar. And then also move it inside of the header. Alright. And then as you guys see, it's kinda looks not kinda ugly right now, right? Let's add some shadows and some effects to make it look actually a little bit nicer. So if you press on the navigation bar or navigation bar text, if you press on the thumbnail, it's gonna take you to the color. So we don't want that. We want to go to the navigation bar blend options. Oops. So press on that twice. If your mouse is giving you a hard time, just right click and press blend options. We'll go to drop shadow, we'll click it, and as you already see, it already added the shadow, but I kind of feel that it's kind of too much. So you can move this like right and left and see what would you like. But for me, I actually want a 30% opacity for my shadow. And then I'll press OK. And then that's actually it for the rectangle part. So let's actually get to the text part. So to create a text, we will have to pick the text option right here. And then I'll press anywhere, honestly, wouldn't really matter. And then let's create one that it says home. And then I'll call this home, or actually already did it by itself. So that's nice of Photoshop. Thank you, Photoshop. And make sure it's actually on the top. So if it's not on the top, you will see that it disappear. So let's do that. And also, by the way, whenever we're going to use the extra grid, if we have it like that, see, because it's actually under the header, the grid is appearing on the bottom. So let's actually move the grid all the way, not all the way inside, but all the way to the top right here. And then we can have that. And then let's go to, let's say, to the home one, the home text that we just created. And also press Control and actually press on the navigation bar. And we can go to, what option? Yeah, you press on here. And do you guys see how it's actually a little bit to the top and to the left of the screen? If we press on this right here, now we move to the center of that navigation bar, or the center horizontally, vertically, I don't know. one of them, and we can press on here, and now vertically and horizontally it's centered. So right, so that's good. So let's move actually the home text a little bit to the right. So let's press home, and then I'm gonna move it about here. And make sure that you have in your view thing, press on show, actually press on extra, so we can actually have the columns for our grid shown, because we don't want to have any text or any actually images outside of those columns, because whenever you're on a mobile device or whenever actually on a website, whenever there's right and left empty space, it actually is nicer and the page doesn't look condensed. So it's really easy for the user to navigate around. So for example, this, you see guys, if you see my website, you'll see that this is actually not to the right of the website. I put it in the middle because on a mobile device it didn't actually look that great. So I had to change my design a little bit. And this is something normal. You will have to change your design if things don't work. That's not a problem. But you will try as much as you can to follow your design. So let's see. So I pressed on the put on the home, and actually let's move it to that's fine, I guess. Let's actually move it to the beginning of that column like that. Yep. All right, and then I'm gonna duplicate this. So right click and then press duplicate layer. I'm gonna call this services. Press OK. And then I'm gonna press shift, right? And since this is selected, it's not gonna actually move the home, it's gonna move the services, but it still has the text home on it because we didn't change that yet. And then move it to the tip of the word home, and then press shift, and then press right 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna have it four moves, I guess, 4 moves away from the first text. So services, and I'm having a hard time spelling services, which is embarrassing, but that's fine. And then duplicate a layer, and I'm gonna call this games. Let's say we're actually on a website that creates games. So let's do that. Let's move it. So in the beginning, let's do, here you go, beginning of the text, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna call this games. And then the last one, let's actually create 2 more. Duplicate layer. Let's do about, and we'll also do the same thing with it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you guys can see, we'll probably have to move things a little bit to the left, but we'll do that after we're done with our last text. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate it again. Contact. Alright, and then I'm gonna move this. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and I'm gonna change the text itself to contact. And then after you're done, just pick all of them and then press shift. Make sure you selected this part. And what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna move them to the right to be something like that. And then that's it for that part, and we're just gonna save. So if anything happens, your computer crash or anything, you have everything saved. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm pretty sure that was kind of a long tutorial, so I apologize for that, but it was needed so you guys will learn it. So hope you enjoyed it, and please leave me a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.